G'day everyone. The Scorpionlord is a pretty tough boss that has a number of very lethal, very fast combos that can 100 to 0 you in just a few seconds. So let's take a look at his combos, how to see them coming and how to deal with them, and then I'll show you the full fight with a few tricks to help nuke down a huge amount of his health. So let's take a look. Firstly, at around 60% of boss health, the Scorpionlord will spear his tail into the ground and cause all these puddles to bubble up. After a short delay, you'll need to dodge as all those puddles burst, but you need to take note of this happening because for the rest of the fight, a lot of the boss's abilities and combos will be empowered or will be a little bit longer. So when I start talking about phase 1 or phase 2 abilities, I mean before or after those ground puddles come out. Alright, when the boss jumps away from you like this into a crouch and then leaps at you with his right claw glowing red, this is a 3-part combo. You need to dodge the initial slash as he arrives at you, and then another 2 evenly spaced dodges. As far as I know, he always starts the fight with this combo, and then he'll keep using it throughout the fight just randomly. Alright, let's look at tail combos. When he leaps into the air like this, he's about to do a 3-part tail whip combo. The first 2 dodges are pretty quick, and then a slight delay before your third one. When he starts to roll down onto his right shoulder like this, he's about to do another 3-part tail whip combo. This one comes out pretty quickly. When you see it, react to it straight away, and just do 3 back-to-back rolls with no delays. In phase 2, this combo starts the same, but then he'll hover up after the 3 slashes and do another 2 tail slams. When he turns into a crouch like this with his tail glowing, he's about to do a single, very powerful thrust with his tail. You need to delay your dodge for a decent moment there, and then generally do a second dodge to avoid these puddles that will also burst. In phase 2, he will often follow this with another, very delayed tail thrust after a little spinny in the air. When he jumps towards you doing a little torpedo spin, he's about to do another single tail thrust that'll come out quite quickly, and then he'll follow that with another 2 smashes of his claws, followed by a final tail whip. The last main tail combo, and probably the hardest for me at least to dodge, happens when he stands upright like this and his tail starts to glow behind him. This is a deadly 4-part combo. The first 2 dodges are very delayed, and then the 3rd and 4th dodge are back to back straight away. Now sometimes if you front on, you can't actually see his tail glowing behind him, it just looks like he's standing normally. And in that case, you need to react as soon as you can once you see him starting to lean backwards like this with his tail coming underneath him. If you're really struggling with this combo, I found it quite tricky. Consider using Cloud Step for this one, and as soon as you see that coming, just Cloud Step away and wait the whole combo out. If you didn't notice just then, in phase 2, he'll often also do that final extra thrust after a little air spinny. Alright, so that's the tail. Generally that's more dangerous. We'll also have a look at a few of his claw attacks. When he charges at you like this, you need to do one well-timed dodge through the claw. Now sometimes he just stops running after that, but if he turns back to face you with the claw still glowing, he's about to leap at you with 2 follow-up claw attacks. Occasionally, while he's facing away from you, he'll slam his right claw into the ground and then follow that up with a backward slash that you need to dodge through. When the boss crawls at you for a bit and then leaps into the air like this, he's about to dive down into the ground, and then after a few moments burrowing, he's going to strike you from beneath the ground. The moment you see this fissure mark on the ground and the dust becoming unsettled, you need to dodge once to avoid the strike. Now he usually follows this with a tail whip. If he turns so that the tail is on his right, he's going to do a standard tail whip. Now in phase 2, he'll usually follow the burrow strike with a more deadly grab attack tail whip. If he turns so the tail is on the left, that's the more deadly version, and the dodge needs to be slightly more delayed. Alright, if you are struggling with this boss, use this combo to do a massive amount of the boss's health. Run to here and use a pluck of many to summon your duplicates. This will immediately trigger the boss to do his triple tail whip. As you cast the duplicates, start spamming your spirit, which is going to be the Apramana Bat. This does a solid bit of damage by itself, but also it freezes the boss in place, allowing time for your duplicates to get in there and start dealing damage. Move around to the outside like I did there, and then use 5 light attacks. That will stagger him backwards. Again, reposition around the side, give it a moment, and then hit your immobilize. While he's immobilized, get in there and do another 5 light attacks. This will get you pretty close to 4 focus points for a heavy attack. If not, do 1 or 2 more and then get the heavy attack off. Follow up with a little more damage while he's staggered there, and then get back out because he's about to do the phase 1 to 2 transition of puddles. I was a little too greedy there, but as you can see, he hasn't done a single ability yet and he's at nearly 30% health. The best part is you can use that exact sequence very reliably and getting out a big chunk of damage every time. Now you can use it at the start of the fight like I did there, but since phase 2 is generally harder, the boss has a few extra abilities and he generally hurts more, I actually recommend you fight him normally in phase 1 until he's at about 50 or 60% health, and then use that combo. Which is what I did for this kill video here that I'll show you. Use your first immobilize very early like I've just done there, and then the next time it's off cooldown, you're going to be pretty much ready to use it and do that whole combo. Unfortunately, because of the boss's size and shape, this whirling attack doesn't really ever hit him, so just back up straight away if it's not connecting. You can use Stone Form successfully on pretty much any of the claw-based attacks or his horizontal tail whips, but any of the ones that come at you like a thrust, generally they'll knock you back and you won't be able to retaliate. It'll still protect you from damage like there, but you won't be able to get any follow-up attacks in because you'll be rolling backwards staggered for a moment. moment. If you're not big on stone form, definitely consider using Cloud Step for this combo here. It's really tough to dodge, at least I found it to be, but you can get good value out of either of those spells on this fight, so it's just personal preference. Now, if you're choosing to use the big combo in the back half of the fight, make sure you have enough mana going into it. You need mana for 1 Pluck of Many and 1 Immobilize at minimum. So either limit your spell use in the first half or use the Jade Essence drink, which gives you a bit of mana back with each use. So as you get to 60 or 50% health, take a few drinks to top yourself up on health and mana. If you really want to min-max, you can also use a damage buff of some kind. I'm about to use the Enhanced Tiger Subduing Pellets, which significantly increase attack. So straight after I use that, I'm going to go into my combo here. Remember, as soon as you cast a Pluck of Many, he's going to go into that triple tail whip, and you need to hit your Apramana Bat straight away. Now, to get the most out of this, you're going to want to max out the Pluck of Many trick. For Immobilize, I only take these 3 nodes for the damage and for the mana return, and in this fight I'm using Rock Solid just as a preference, although I didn't quite have enough points to get the mana return at the bottom. Here I'm using the Iron Tough Armor just for synergy with Rock Solid, but if you don't have it or you prefer it, you can use the Ochre for giving your duplicates a little more defense. As you can see, that combination has absolutely shredded him, he's nearly dead. That's the best combination I've found so far to nuke a boss, using the combination of the Apramana Bat to get that increased time from the freeze, as well as immobilizers. No stylish finish today, sorry. One of those little perfect dodge illusions killed him by accident. If you want to copy the rest of the build, as always I recommend the entire stamina tree, it's just too valuable. Martial arts, I've actually recently dropped off the bottom 2 talents, I don't think they're that worth it. And then drop any spare points that you have into any of those passives. I like attack, defense, crit and health. This is what I'm using for thrust stance, pretty generic. For curios, I'm using the Jade Moon Rabbit and the Gold Sun Crow because they work together, as well as the Gold Spike Plate, mostly just for the defense that it gives. And as I mentioned, I'm using the Jade Essence drink with the 2 soaks that you can read there. So that's everything. If the guide helped, please drop a like and subscribe, or let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers.